Hi everyone, I'm just here to explain Stations Week 4, so I'm just going to go through it with you on these first pages. As always, you've got the link to the PDF. If you'll notice right here, it says that we are doing 100 to 144. I've estimated how many pages that is a day. That should be less than 10 pages a day if you will do it more in a schedule style is what I'm suggesting. I saw a lot of people saying, well, this is just too much work. There's just like way too much. If you'll stick to a schedule, if you really think about it, it was like less than I was asking you in 15 days to get 100 pages done. That's actually less than like 6 pages a day. So if you just follow a schedule, it should be a lot easier. As always, I've included the audio. I've all included the audio through the end of the book at this point. So if you want to get ahead, you may do so. I had a lot of complaints about the logs, so I tried to be nice and give you just 2 summaries to do. They must be 5 to 7 sentences. And when I say sentences, I mean actual sentences, capital letters, punctuation, all that good stuff. 5 to 7 sentences. You're going to do the first part, which is part 2, which is 100 to 123. And that's in the PDF, not the audio. So make sure that you realize that the audio is tracking with the book, whereas we are reading from a PDF. So you're reading to a page 123 on the PDF. On the next slide, you're doing the same thing, except you're doing it for 123 through 144. That's in part 3, and that's in the PDF document. Now you have a choice board. It is different than the choice board I gave you last week. Some of the things are similar, but some of the things are different. So just, make sure that you are paying attention to that. You are going to choose 2 blocks on the choice board to do. This week, I was nice enough to link everything in to what slide you would do it on. So, like this one says, write a letter to a character. If you click on this, it'll take you to slide 8, and that's where you're going to do that. If you don't know how to write a letter, I've included a YouTube link. This next one is using a Venn diagram. Remember that Venn diagram is like those 2 circles put together where you on the outside do the things that are different, and on the middle are the things that are similar. So you're comparing and contrasting Orange Grove, which is where Eric and Paul live, to where you live. So like in Lubbock, how are things different? I would like for you to include at least 10 things on that list, whether it's in the middle or on the outside. And that's going to be on slide 9, which is also linked in. Next is the same thing as last week, where you're going to choose words from the text and find synonyms and antonyms. That's slide 10. I've included the table on there, so you don't have to create it. Next, we've got creating an Instagram page for a character. That's more of a creative one. More explanation is on that slide. So that's linked into slide 11. Check out the cybersecurity video. That one is a district thing. We've had a lot of issues and a lot of Go Guardian alerts over just some of the stuff that y'all are doing. So just make sure that you are, practicing digital citizenship and doing what you're supposed to do. Next is an acrostic poem. If you don't know what an acrostic poem is, basically you use a name and you create a poem off of somebody's name. I've linked in a YouTube video right here so you know what you're doing there. And that's going to be completed on slide 12. Next, you are going to create 5 comprehension questions for your classmates to answer about the text. Those questions need to be over the section of 100 to 144, just because that's kind of like what I want you to be focusing on. That's going to be on slide 13. Slide 14 is going to be where you're going to create predictions about what you're going to think happened in the story. If you did these last week, I asked that you choose a different block just so you're doing multiple things with the text. And then the last thing is create a timeline of the story. Y'all have seen timelines in history. You have to use at least 6 important events to mark. I would say go through the dates and mark it with those dates, and then give kind of a summary of that event. And that's going to be on slide 15. But you only have to choose 2 of those, and then you're done for the week. So if you have any questions, of course, you're welcome to email me, and I'm happy to help. So I hope that you have a great week.